Hello students, good morning all of you. Today I Rabindra Mohan Mishra from Sri Jagdamba Sanskrit College Batho am taking the class of Shastri first. Today we see the structure of the poem The Tiger by Blake. We have seen its critical appreciation and also explanation from the poem The Tiger. Today we see a structure because this poem is well planned and structured by William Blake. The poem The Tiger is composed by William Blake. Blake was a dreamer and visionary poet. He was born in London, England. At a very young age, Blake displayed a very high amount of creativity. Not being able to find an education past a drawing school, Blake began an apprenticeship when he was 14 as an engraver. His life as an engraver actually played a big role in how his poetry got published. Blake published a book called The Song of Innocence in 1789. In this book, his most famous poem was named The Lamb. It is based on a Christian view of creation. We see here that how God created the lamb as a perfect innocent being. Later, Blake published another book titled Song of Experience in 1794. The most famous poem in this book of Blake's career is The Tiger. It consists entirely of questions about the nature of God and creation, particularly whether the same God that created vulnerable beings like the lamb could also have made the fearsome tiger. Blake structured this poem The Tiger with 6 quatrains. Each quatrain has 4-line stanza. In these stanza, he uses a variety of rhyming couplets, repetition, powerful imagery, and a lot of rhetorical question. Blake begins the first quatrain with the tiger, tiger burning bright. In the very first line, he uses repetition to catch the reader's eye. In the first line, he uses the tiger as a much more wild, mysterious, and ferocious animal capable of great good and terrifying evil. According to Blake, the burning bright means being so ferocious, being so capable, so intelligent, and having the power to do anything. Again, he uses powerful imagery with the line, in the forest of the night. This suggests that the tiger is like a creature of the night, very dark, very mysterious, and again capable of doing unknown goods and evil. At the end of first quatrain, Blake uses with a rhetorical question what immortal hand or eye could frame the fearful symmetry. The immortal hand or eye Blake uses is referring to a god. The god who created such a creature is fearful because he made this beautiful creature of mankind to have free will. With free will means that they can choose to do right and wrong, and in itself is terrifying. In the second quadrant, Blake presents in front of us with some imagery as well as another rhetorical question. Blake is using an illusion to create a picture of heaven and hell by the terms distant deeps or skies. The line burnt the fire of thine eyes is directed to God. The eyes are here God's eyes. Black is asking, who was the God who created the tiger? The next 2 lines are more rhetorical questions where he asks on what wings dares he aspire and what the hand dares seize the fire. In the third stanza, Blake uses another rhetorical question. It is directed to ask who created this creature. He uses very powerful imagery to provide a picture of a god who is literally molding the tiger. Blake uses the word twisted to remind us of the free will God made man with. The twisted is also to remind how twisted or sometimes corrupt human can be. Later in the stanza, Blake asks another question pertaining uh, again to who could make a frightening creature. Blake uses imagery to show how the heart of this beast begins to beat, and then once God had made the heart beat, he says, "What dread hand and what dread feet?" This shows how God again asks himself if he dreaded creating such a magnificent creature that is capable of both good and evil. In the fourth stanza, Blake starts with an awesome illusion. It is referring to the Greek god Hephaestus. Hephaestus is the blacksmith god of fire and metallurgy, who was plagued with a lame leg and toiled under the volcano Mount Etna, creating weapons, armor, and artwork for other gods who disdained from him for his ugliness. From the verse hammer, chain, furnace, Blake presents an imagery of God. Look like Hephaestus, he is in a dark, hell-like place who is just hammering away to create this beast. To close the stanza, Blake uses a lot of dark, ominous verse. The words dread, dare, deadly, and terrors are words that describe sometimes something evil. Blake chooses to use these words to paint an image of tiger, being an evil creature, which begin to lean us away from the assumption that the tiger was created by the God in heaven and therefore capable of good as well as evil. The tiger and its deadly terrors clasp is more imagery to remind us that the tiger is dark, mysterious, and horrifying. In the first stanza, Blake shows his powerful imagery as well as an illusion. When the stars threw down their spear and watered heaven with their tears, the imagery in these two lines clearly forms some kinds of picture. Blake, however, had some hidden symbolism in these words. It is an old tale that the twinkling of stars are the angels in the heavens. Looking closely, it can be suggested that the word stars means angel. So the angels are throwing down their spear. There was a time that Lucifer became enraged and rebelled against God and his angels. Lucifer then went up into heavens and battled with God and his angels. When it says stars threw down their spear, it is talking about when God's angel defeated Lucifer's angels by using a spear. The next part of the lines and watered heaven with their tears is also speaking about the holy war of angels. The angels of God are watering the heavens with their tears because they feel compassion to their angel brother who follow Lucifer. The next two lines of the poem are again a few theoretical questions. However, this time they begin to suggest something different. So far, most of the questions have led us to believe that the tiger is evil, so its creator would inherently be Lucifer. This time, the questions point to the conclusion that it was in fact God who made the tiger, but this is where the table turns to ask God as the creator of the tiger and not as Lucifer. However, Blake has intended to rhetorical question to show us that they were in fact made by the same creator and the creator is the God in heaven. The sixth and the final quatrains of the poem begins is a recap of the first quatrain. He uses repetition to bring back the tiger, tiger burning bright in the forest of the night, was immortal hand or eyes. Those three lines are identical to the first three lines of the poem. The tiger links to mankind. The burning bright refers to the flourishing and ferocity of tiger. The line in the forest of the night again is used as an imagery to get the reader to the picture a dark, mysterious environment, implying that the tiger is a creature of the night. Lastly, the immortal hand or eye is a symbol of higher power. What God is the one who created the tiger, a creature that is both terrifying and beautiful at the same time. There is one difference that Blake made in his final stanza from the first one.